I'm gonna get back to that story, Sonny. Just, just you listen to Boomer Great One. He's gonna tell you about how it was back in the olden days, back before fire, back when we walked uphill for everything. In fact, we didn't even have a concept of downhill because there was no downhill. Everything was uphill. We thought that was normal. We didn't even have a word for it because there was no alternative. It was uphill all the time. You just need to reach down and grab yourselves by your bootstraps and pull yourselves up, Sonny. Because when I was your age, I bought a house for $25,000. And I made that money on my paper route and bussing tables at the local cafe. And if I could do it, you can do it too. You just need to reach down and pull yourself up and just buckle up there, buckaroo. God, I hate boomers.
All right, let me know in the chat room again if my audio goes to crap. I was all ready to go, and then it went doo-doo-doo-doo. And I'm like, that sound like something was unplugged. I'm like, oh crap. All right, Plains War, you said, well, it's the first time I see you. Yeah, it's been I had to make sure. I went on a tear, and I was using the camera's audio because technology, IT bros. All right. Am I okay? Let me know. Plains where you say I'm okay. Sounds good. Okay, thanks, guys. I appreciate that. All right. Now we can get on. Now I got to be a boomer. And how the heck do I get back? See, this isn't the topic of conversation. You got one job, IT guys or computer science bros. Make it so normal people and not computer science geniuses can work. Now I've lost my spot. Everything's thrown off now. Everything's thrown off. All right. Come with me on a journey. This is just an observation I had. And I got to explain this person, Alyssa Mercante. If you don't know who Alyssa Mercante is, let me explain it to you. I'm going to go through her background and things. Now, she is so happy, right? So I'm going to say now, I cannot vouch for the veracity of everything I'm about to read on the internet. Okay? There's something happening with a person called Alyssa Mercante. She's this, I don't know, internet influencer, journalist person, public figure on the internet who is in the realm of video games. Since I like nerds, this gal's come up many times in nerd culture, nerddom. And there's a fascinating story evolving here. And then I had one of them as Arsenio Hall moments. Isn't it one of those things that make you say, So I have a question. So there's a gal, Alyssa Mercante. She wrote for different websites in the video gaming world, notably Kotaku. I believe she was an editor at one time. Don't sue me, Alyssa. I'm guessing. All right? Calluses. All right. From the previous video. And she's a leftist, I think. Am I safe saying that? She is not a fan of Donald Trump or conservatism or capitalism or America or anything like that. And she is of the ideological belief group that we need more diversity and video games are too skewed towards traditional conservative heterosexual white males, heterosexual cisgendered, I guess is the terms they would do. Don't sue me. I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't want to put words in her mouth. She's on the left. Let's put it that way. And there is a lot of kerfuffle because she's a little more vocal. And I would say perhaps, well, I wouldn't say, a lot of other people question her journalistic integrity based on some of the articles she has written. This has evolved or devolved as Gamergate 2/woke influences in video games and movies has destroyed flopped many releases, right? There are flops coming out now. Video games are losing money. It's found out they're very woke and have a leftist influence in them. People on, I don't even want to say the conservative side of this debate, but the not woke side, because I imagine there are some Democrats who would like pretty girls in their games. They're saying, look, your shit don't work. It's been politically motivated. As we go and we expose U.S. aid and different investigations, you find out money's coming from governments and political organizations to influence this. That's corruption. Then there's the outright DEI influences of investors like BlackRock and other ESG prone financiers. And it all comes out into a big fight on the internet where, what would you say, once every 2 months, we get a pretty big release or a movie that is filled with this woke leftist identity type of ideology. Everyone's waiting to see if it's going to flop. The not leftist side, because I don't mean they're Republicans, just the not leftist side say your game's going to flop. The leftist side, which has games journalism, if that's a thing, say, no, this is a great game. It's going to do well. They come out, there's accusations, you're shills, you're propagandizing for either political organizations or corpos who want to make money on this thing. Game comes out 9 out of 10 times. It's woke shit that nobody wants. It flops and the cycle repeats and repeats and repeats. Now, in all the exchanges going on between two different sides, among many different people, Alyssa Mercante seems to have a keen interest in a guy called Smash JT. And I've mentioned him before. And I guess an acquaintance, him and I have exchanged texts and all that. I corrected him one time because he called it vehemently. He'd always say vehemently. It's vehement. He's got a great nerd channel. That's why I know who he is. He does a pretty good job covering it and all the political fallout from this. He covers Alyssa Mercante covering video games. He questions her integrity, veracity, points out different things. It becomes a shouting match or an argument online. She is now suing him for a reason. I didn't read through the brief. I'm going to imagine something along the lines of the defamation, slander, all that other stuff. And I don't want to put words in his mouth either, but he's, you're a liar, you're a shill, you're a propagandist. She says, no, I'm not. You hurt my feelings. I'm suing you. So now there's this lawsuit. Not a lawyer, but I'm going to say this kind of sounds dubious. I don't know if you're going to win it, Alyssa. Not my place to judge. But now we got a lawsuit, and now even more drama and all this comes up. So let me go through. I'm going to go through Alyssa's LinkedIn profile. Okay. Then I'm going to go through, what is this? This isn't Wikipedia. This is Kiwi Farms, which I know that's biased towards the hatred of whatever subject they're talking about. But there's a reason I'm going through. Just hear me out. Obviously, the Kiwi Farms is going to be biased and perhaps not a lot of truth. But that's not my aim in this. I'm trying to show you all the drama and the kerfuffle and the bullshit that's going on here. So if we go to Alyssa Mercante's LinkedIn page, Farmingdale, New Mexico? Why do I know Farmingdale? I've been through there. GED, activities at society's varsity soccer captain, track captain. She has ran a marathon. If you look her, she's in shape. Varsity Leaders Club, Humanity, PTA tutoring, blah, 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 blah. All right. Goes to college from 2008 to 2012. Majors in English. All right. All these different extracurricular activities that aren't relevant. Then goes on to Newcastle University 3 years later. Gets a master's degree in modern and contemporary literature. And she's putting summa cum laude and distinction. That doesn't matter. I'll tell you, I can say your degrees don't mean anything. These are not real degrees. I know they're real degrees that from accredited universities, no, but they're not employable degrees. So it doesn't matter if you put, it's like my degree. It doesn't matter if I graduated summa cum laude, which I did. Doesn't matter. It's a worthless degree. Activities and societies, postgraduate ambassador, member and symposium chair, gender research group. My degree, while focusing on contemporary literature, allowed me to direct my attention and research on queer theory, anti-normative modes of living, and social justice and human rights activism. I wrote my dissertation on queer approaches to modern independent video games to connect indie games to queer punk movement of the 80s and 90s and to carve out a clear academic space for those who have been marginalized by the community. Specifically women and queer individuals. My dissertation titled Goth Punks, Queer and Gamers. Have you ever attended a Gwar concert? Because I don't know if you can, if you didn't attend a Gwar concert. Convention, identifying my dissertation. This dissertation is a paragraph long unto itself. Goth Punks, Queer and Gamers. Identifying subcultural and queer conventions in contemporary indie games and establishing a queer punk indie game community. Why don't you just set up a Discord server, man? I know. Received one of the 3 highest grades in my program and cemented my receiving a degree with distinction. In the United Kingdom higher education system, a distinction is the highest possible honor is equivalent to a 4.0 in an American institution. Okay, all right. Fine, you got really good grades. So while she was going to the University of Birmingham undergrad, here's her work background. Sales intern, Condé Nast, May 2010 to June 2010, 2 months. Crafted visual representations of a company's previous ad space in Lucky magazine, persuade them, News desk intern the next year. Looks like summer interns. Greater New York City area. So you're living in New York. That's not cheap. Wrote short news stories that were published on the website, collaborating, thing. Used Google Trends to help predict popular subjects that would get a decent amount of puff, fay, smoke, fay. From December 2011, so she's in school for this time until June 2014, right before she goes off to a master's program. Receptionist, social media manager, Alter Ego Salon. I imagine that's a real salon, not Salon Magazine. Answer calls and made appointments. Bro, what about your honors with distinction and summa cum laude, bro? What do you mean answering calls and made appointments? Balanced. You have a typo here, Alyssa. You may want to put balanced together. You have balanced the accounts. Balance the accounts. Oh, she balanced in the accounts. There's a space. The D moved over to accounts. Balance the accounts. Put a Z on the end. Answer calls, made appointments, balanced accounts, received and paid. Maintained stock and drove sales for high quality salon products and service. Managed company social media page, Twitter, Facebook, did social media. Okay. Substitute teacher, extended day teacher. I also substitute taught when I was young and poor. Friends Academy, 1 year 9 supervised extended day program, students age 3 to 12, facilitated learning, on-call substitute. All right. Marketing coordinator. Now, in defense, she's working. These are real jobs, not glorious jobs, but the real jobs, right? Marketing coordinator and social media manager, May 2014 so she left, I think, the receptionist and then went on to a different company. Meet marketing coordinator and social media manager, a year. The other place, almost 3 years. Substitute teaching, a year. Correct. Boomers do not provide stable employment. You are right. This is a lot of job hopping, though, which I understand, but not a lot of stability in employment here. Greater New York area. Again, expensive. Develop company social media presence from LinkedIn to Facebook to Twitter, which involve crafting on catchy posts based on trending topics and ideas. An 8th grader could do that, right? Legit. 8th graders do that, right? Created advertisements featured in fundraising brochures, edited existing project data sheets, material crafted visual representations, qualification of consumption potential clients. To you, freelance writer. So while all these other things, she is branching out and doing some freelance writing under a company called To You. August 2013 to 2016, 3 years, wrote articles to drive content and bring visitors to various online degree websites, extensively researched topics for the benefits of a law degree, to healthy eating, to compiling lengthy and helpful collection of social databases, worked under deadline, following sub. All right. Now, okay, works at the university she attended? Yes. Student support specialist for 9 months, 15 to 16. Robinson Library provided roving staff support across 4-story library, which include organization, master of the library's organizational system and university reference analytics regarding CASA. I'm just going to go here. Ciros, 2 years, 1 month. She was a staff writer for 2017 to 2019, and then got promoted to associate editor, curator, writer, designer, visual, interactive roles. Ciros. Is Ciros open anymore? Ciros. I think this is it. Ciros looks like it's still around. I think this is the company. This is come with me on a research journey. Was the associate editor for 6 months, curator, writer, and designer, visual, interactive stories, editorial, calendar, managing and planning, writing and designing social media content for Facebook, integrate. You're just doing social media. Search engine optimization for both Cirrus software and Cirrus original CMS. 2 years there. Future, different company website. Staff writer at Games Radar Plus. So maybe Future is the company that owns Games Radar. Great New York City area. Finally broke into the gaming industry. All right. So your goal was 2019. That was 3 years of your thesis. Goth punks, queer, and gamers. It took 3 years to break in there. Not necessarily her fault. It just tells you everything you need to know about the employability in that field. Finally broke into the gaming industry. As a staff writer at Games Radar, one of the top gaming and entertainment editorial sites in the US, UK. Is Games Radar around anymore? There it is, still there. One of the top gaming, day-to-day consists of writing up news pieces, chasing PR reps or quotes and clarifications, writing long-form features that require extensive research and interning. Also live stream for Games Radar Plus. Editor at Games Radar 2020 for 10 months. Senior editor at Kotaku. What happened to, there's like a year and a half, 2 year. There's a 2-year gap. 2022 to 2024, 2 years. And then Kotaku laid a bunch of people off, which I don't know if she quit on her own or was laid off. I do not know. And then now, 2024, freelance writer, self-employed. Okay, that's the LinkedIn. Oh, in Brooklyn. Oh, that's not cheap. It's not cheap, man. Now let's go here to the Kiwi Farms, which again is the worst lens. I'm not saying anything that has a lot of veracity. Alyssa Mercante, beard and feminism, kombucha T-Rex, high-heeled gamer, from failed sex worker to failed clickbait journalist, a far-left, racist, narcissist, abusive, smug feminazi. This is them, not me. Not agreeing with any of this. Merely reading. Stalks her targets and their families. Oh, yeah, there was that whole thing she did with Smash JT, reaching out to his wife. Look that up. Look up and verify. DEI and SBI activist, alcoholic junkie. That's conjecture, speculation. Threatens gamers and YouTubes to public fights and then lawsuits. All that is, she has got video where she's saying to come fight her. During the Sweet Baby Inc. controversy, another unwanted controversy coming from Kotaku had to butt in to claim the center stage just to defend Sweet Baby Inc. and other DEI-related cancer in gaming with the usual hate clickbait articles attacking the gaming audience, the gamers. But in reality, she's only adding more fuel to the flame war against gamers. She only has herself to blame after playing with fire. Who is this Kotaku journalist that hates gamers? You ask. Her name is Alyssa Mercante, sex worker and senior editor of Kotaku. They have it crossed out. Self-claimed freelance journalist. And then here's some pictures of her posing provocatively. Well, I guess that one's rated R. I guess is that PG-13? You see a boob. So there's some pictures up here. I am not saying she did sex, so I'm not saying any. I'm just reading the website, lady. Alyssa Mercante, a.k.a. Discount Frosk, and Discount Anita Sarkeesian. I know Anita Sarkeesian, not personally. She married herself. He's your typical hipster-looking bisexual, claimed extreme far-left liberal activist with NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, and BTD, borderline personality disorder from Brooklyn, New York. Hold on, I'm blind. And now I got my vision back. They used to work as a sex worker, D for doubt, in the adult industry and later jumped into gaming journalism to write hateful clickbait articles smearing gamers as the bad guys on Kotaku as senior editor. Ever since she got criticized for a Kotaku clickbait article defending Sweet Baby Inc. from critical gamers and suddenly Gamergate 2.0. Nobody asked for a second Gamergate to happen. She starts stalking every single person criticizing her to harass and then smear. Later, she would start stalking YouTube ranters that does a better job than her and the rest of the corporate clickbait gaming journalists, including covering controversial gaming news with evidence. When triggered, Alyssa Mercante would send her allies full of soy face beta cucks, Ethan Catch, these people don't matter, and clickbait journalists to do the dirty work for her, so she'll be gloating bitch. All right. Boy, there's a lot here. There is a lot here. I will point out, I think I might even have a Kiwi Farms entry of myself. And I mean, yeah, they're on the spectrum. And yeah, what does it mean really if you have a Kiwi Farms entry about you? Not much, but it does mean there was some kind of drama. There was a kerfuffle kicked up that someone at Kiwi Farms decided to write. Someone decided to write a lot, or a group of people decided to write a lot. That's my main point with this. I'll continue on. The origins of Alyssa Mercante. Here at the farms, we discuss on the milking the controversial behavior of a lol cow, like Alyssa Mercante, and why she qualifies as lol cow material. A laugh out loud cow? If you'd like to know more, the road to low cow. I'm just wondering if this is what began her road to low-cal fame is posting her greatest Kotaku clickbait hit on defending Sweet Baby Inc. from Gamergate 2 Electric Boogaloo that nobody asked for, comparing gamers along with YouTubers or critics and us from Kiwi Farms as her favorite buzzwords like alt-right Nazi, Gamergate that harasses women and people of color. That's in quotes, I guess. Maybe she said that because normal gamers are against shitty games with forced wokeness such as political agendas, identity politics, forced DEI involving Sweet Baby Inc. Race swapping the message that translates death to white males, except for me. I'm a good white male ally. Did she really say that? I'm just. This is pointing out the absurdity of this entry on the internet. I'm pointing out. And uglifying attractive women with ugly sticks in the name of inclusivity and trans family. And sadly, Kotaku is okay with this because they're good feminist allies of her on social media, blah, blah, blah. Okay, there's pictures of her. I guess there's a picture of a tattoo she has here. It says all men are enemies. Does that she's got tattoos all over her body? She's drinking. She's being a hipster. She's from New York. Rise of Smash JT. Let's go through this one. Around May of 2024, Alyssa Mercante turns out to be a mentally obsessed serial stalker that stalks her targets she hates because she's being criticized for local behavior. Jeff Tarzia, YouTuber that makes common ranting videos who goes by the name of Smash JT. Oh, is that his name? I just call him Smash. Is the first and prime victim of Alyssa's list of targets to stalk and harass until that person's life is ruined under her heel. Nobody ever heard of or cared of or gave a shit about Jeff Smash JT Tarzia until her harassment and stalking made him famous. While Alyssa Mercante stalks Smash JT, she always sends out her favorite pet beta cucks. I'm not going to mention all this. When things are about to get worse, Alyssa made even worse. Right to fame, harassing Smash JT's wife on Facebook and her private messages. Smash does mention that several times. And what would be a more factual document to read would be the lawsuits that have been filed between the two of them. I'm not reading this for facts. I'm reading this to provide some context. When things are about to get worse from stalking Smash JT, Alyssa Mercante made it even more worse than that made Smash JT rise to fame. It's written that way. By harassing Smash JT's wife on Facebook and her private messages. She then started cry bullying and fabricating the story that Smash JT is the one harassing Alyssa Mercante, not Alyssa Mercante herself. This pissed off Smash JT and started a Kotaku detected page, like a DI detected and SBI detected by Cabrutus, who's currently stalked and harassed by Sweet Baby Inc. Ba 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 ba. Going to skip ahead. I'm skipping a lot. Lawsuit attorney. Claims to be represented by Cusk Law. Sued Jesse James Corner for over $500,000 for harassing and doxing a Bungie community manager. Breaking news. Threatens lawsuit against Kiwi Farms. I guess she sued several people. Well, where's the lawsuit against Smash JT? Okay, well, man, Kiwi Farms is a pain in the ass. It's all over the place. All right. The reason I go through the Kiwi Farms is what it does is it encapsulates the drama, right? I'm not reading it as a source document or that this actually happened or anything like that. But if you read through it, there's a lot of freaking bullshit going on in the game journalism gaming community and Alyssa Mercante's wife. Now, when we look through all of this, we have the lawsuit going on. Well, hang on. Let me do one final thing here. Permit me this. Hang on. I'm going somewhere with it. She graduates 2008. Where's my math calculator? Aaron, don't you have a mathematical background? I do. It is 2025 minus 2008. Okay, she's age 17 years. It's just so 18 is at 35. Did I do the math right? She's a 35-year-old woman. Let's just say she is, if we look at, she's middle-aged, right? Her youth is mostly gone. I mean, she's now an old woman. This is now a mathematically middle-aged woman. This is a full-grown adult woman. If we go through her educational background and her career, and then we go through the drama and the bullshit that she is suffering. I'm not saying she's a victim, but she is suffering from all this crap, right? I'm not speculating about who's right or wrong about the lawsuit. All I'm saying is if you look at this background, where she GED, right? Probably some learning disabilities, maybe, or maybe really smart, but came from a poor family. We're just a genuinely disadvantaged background. Spends 2008 up until 2019. Is that where you finally got it? 2019. That's 11 years of wandering in the desert, which I actually can sympathize with. It took me college longer than that, 14 years to figure out I didn't belong in banking. Finally took me that long. I can understand that. My point is, it took 11 years out of high school tremendous amounts of education. You guys may criticize the education in terms of its veracity and value, but she did go and get a master's degree. That took time and work, right? I don't see a lot of money coming in. Very unreliable, unstable employment. These jobs are not engineers. They're not paying a lot. She's living in Brooklyn, New York. That's not cheap. She's like a legit, if we were to stereotype it, a legit struggling artist, right? Has a dream of writing in games journalism, struggling artist, just like an LA actor, or aspiring LA actor. Then has a little bit of success. I saw that happen with .com. That was like all of a sudden people, you could get like jobs pretty like, oh, finally we're here. And then it all went away. Very similar, very closely related, very parallel to low interest rate environments. And then also a bunch of DEI financing that creates a bubble and then you're all fired. There's a chart. Someone showed me a computer programmer or computer development, software development. Like it's this bump when the .com, not the .com, the disease hit and lower interest rates and they came crashing down. So she finally, I made it. And then all these gaming websites, journal sites, the journalism industry in general collapses. YouTube content creators just take over. And whatever modicum of success, like, oh, I finally made it, gone away. I can understand her being very upset. Very upset. I understand that. Now, because of political differences, gets into a heated online debate. It goes beyond the debate where now we are dealing with lawsuits. I have one question, and it's not directed at Alyssa, though she could respond. I'd be very curious myself. Here, one final thing before I pose my question, and I'm going to get backlash for this. She's an attractive woman. Yes, she has all the pictures and the tattoos and the glasses and the finger in the air and the facade is unattractive. One could say the online images that exist of her, she does not present a feminine or a beautiful presence. However, if you look, you can look past the tattoos and the behavior and all that. She was in track. She ran a marathon. She's in shape. And by that picture, because I remember like, wow, I've never seen such a gap between being able to, like, it's like me, right? You guys see me all schlepped up like this I'm still in my pajamas. And then every once in a while, because women take forever to get ready, the GF would be getting ready. And I'm like, oh, I got 17 hours. So I'll be dressed up and ready. It's not 17, but I got like 30 minutes. It's like, I'll bang out a video. It's, holy shit, Cappy, you combed her hair. Like, yeah. Like you almost look fuckable. Like, yes, some women have thought so too. I look at the picture where she's done up. She's pretty. So I have a question, a philosophical question. Wouldn't it be easier for someone like Alyssa that instead of what is the route elders have pushed, I think she's millennial generation, but the elders of our community, especially when it comes to young women, they push women into a particular field that you got a girl boss, you got to be a feminist, men are your enemy, fight the patriarchy, wage gap, you don't need no man, right? They've said that. I remember hearing that back in the 80s. Follow your heart, the money will follow. Don't major in engineering, don't major in STEM. You can do anything you want, right? The standard typical lies that were told to the millennial generation. And then if you actually believe it, right, as evidenced by Alyssa's choice in college degree and thesis, like I'm going to have a political thesis, I'm going to have a political degree, I'm going to bring politics to the masses. I'm not going to report on video, but I have a political agenda. Not anything necessarily wrong with that. But you go through all this, you're poor, you don't have the money, you don't, doesn't sound like she came from an easy background, being honest. GED. Probably had to pay her own way through college, unless somebody, oh, no, her daddy's real rich. I don't think so. She's struggling and striving, trying to follow what the adults, not her parents, what the adults in her life told her to do. She gets a little modicum of success. It's taken away due to economic and political factors. She gets pissed, short fused, angry and pissed because she actually, what if you actually believe the leftist politics bullshit, right? Men are the enemy. They're out to get you. Everyone's oppressed. Everyone's like, you actually are a true believer. You drink the Kool-Aid. Well, you'd be pissed too. You got nothing else going on. Yeah, maybe you get a little bit more aggressive than you ought to. Maybe you go beyond what's considered politically polite, proper etiquette, whether in line or online or in person. And now you find yourself in a lawsuit, unemployed or freelance journal. Wouldn't it have just been easier to maybe get married, find a good husband, and be the stay-at-home wife? Or, some other kind of little side. It's just, I wanted to point it out because I'm looking at this. I'm like, that cannot be an easy life. It's not a life I envy. And yeah, I know you guys are going to disagree with me, but I look at it, I'm like, okay, she's cute. She was good looking. She could have had herself a guy. And it fascinates me. Maybe no one presented her the choice. And by consequence, I'm wondering, maybe no one presented young ladies, no, you young gals out there, no one presents you the choice. Like there's another alternative. There is traditionalism. I'm not saying we all become June and Ward Cleaver and everyone votes Republican and gets a white picket fence. But I'm looking at, this is perhaps an extreme example of your stereotypical, the most important thing in my life is leftist feminist ideology, some kind of leftist politics, whether it's environmentalism, feminist, it doesn't matter. That's the most important thing in my life. And this is kind of where that path leads. Wouldn't it be easier and wouldn't you be happier being married to a guy tradition? I mean, legit, maybe it's politically repulsive to a lot of young women today. Maybe that's a fate worse than death, right? The fate of being poor, struggling artist, can't make it. Maybe these women actually believe that pain and penury is better than being married and a stay-at-home wife taken care of by a man. Maybe they value that independence. Maybe they really believe that you are oppressed. I'm not debating the veracity of that claim, but if you actually believe, is that the case? Because I'm looking at this sounds like hell. In part because I kind of live that life a little bit, going from job to job, can't find a stable job in banking because everyone is a dick-sucking, blue blood, nepotistic, cronyistic motherfucker. There's a reason the financial crash happened, because bankers are fucking incompetent. I understand what it's like living in basements, not having a lot of money, struggling and striving and finally get there. But god damn, man. They got a lawsuit now and no money and wasted all that time in school. It wouldn't it be a little easier to be married? And I'm not saying there's a right or wrong answer on this. What I'm trying to point out is the path that Alyssa has gone down and endured, and the life she currently is living now. It should give young women pause to take a look at and think, okay, well, yeah, you don't have to go down necessarily this path. You could be Democrat light. One might say she was a bit more vehement in her leftist politics than a normal rank and file girl would be. But I don't know. I got to be honest. It seemed to me just being the stay-at-home housewife, being June Cleaver, just wearing her pearl necklace and being kind, and that's got to be a better life than this. And in a different world, because she is deep down underneath all that, she is physically attractive. She could have been a stay-at-home wife. There could have been a different life. I would argue even happier. than the one where it seems we're trying to channel young women into today, whereas you got to be an independent, strong girl boss, and Friday you got to be an active ass. Rah, 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 rah. And that's just what I want to point out. And maybe you girls might want to evaluate. I maybe Alyssa has an opinion on this herself. So that's what we got. All right. Oh, hey, look who's in the chat room, man. All that's going to happen is me and Ray just going to exchange super chats. That's all that's going to happen. The government's going to tax it. Raymond, thoughts and minds if you guys want to subscribe to this channel. Now, wait a minute. It's pronounced vehemently with a short E. General American accent utilizes a short E. I thought it was vehement. Now, look, I'm going to stand on this, okay? Without looking it up, I have, for the longest time, vehemently. Could be I was biased. In my research where there was a fair amount of British researchers, proper English with their programmies and their labours. But I is vehement. Oh shit. Then I yelled at Smash JT for no reason. Raymond, thoughts and minds, $2. I'm 36, sounds exactly like all the women my age. Well, I would argue she's a bit more of an extreme example. I know most women are biased on the left. I know there are a lot of women where their only ideology is whatever variant of leftism they got. Environmentalism, feminism, wokeism, what would woke, identity politics, I guess, tradeism. You're born this way. That's the most important thing about you. It sounds odd. I actually feel a little bit of sadness and pity because she suffered poverty, suffered confusion, struggled mightily to find stability and employment. That what really fucked me over is I got a taste and then it was taken away due to economic factors. So I can understand that. Now she's in a lawsuit. This can't be a good situation to be in. This isn't good for anybody's mind. And my thesis or my question, and young women say, it's like, look, do you want this miserable life? I'd even argue that politically and ideologically, leftists are wrong. No, you don't get free shit. No, you are oppressed. Why, instead of hatred of men, I mean, in this particular example, instead of the hatred of men and they're your oppressors, why don't you love them? Maybe they're not your oppressors. Maybe it's okay to have great sex and go have kids and kick the kids out and go have sex in the basement or whatever. It's all right to raise a family. And I would say objectively, it's better to be in a nuclear family, with kids or not, but to have someone that loves you than have this political crusade, which frankly, I don't see a lot of happy feminists. I don't see a lot of uh, financially stable feminists. And maybe, and it is a fascinating philosophical question, do you actually think you're that oppressed by men that the idea of marriage is that repulsive to you? That's submitting to a man. And it's not even submitting. Like even if it was a marriage of equals, is is the traditional nuclear family, June and Ward Cleaver, is that actually so much oppression and so intellectually repulsive to you that this is the better life? It might be. She says, yeah, I know it's a suffering life, starving artist, but it's better than being a housewife where I got to stay at home and raise the kids or suck a guy's dick I don't like. These are the questions I want. I'm being 100% intellectually honest. I'm not being tongue in cheek. I want to know because it's very important. Because ladies, if that's what you want, you got to let men know. Like, okay, cool. Well, then we're not going to bother with asking out or nuclear families. You would, on an individual respect for your fellow man or woman, what do you want? Right? It's no different than, do you want chocolate ice cream? And they say, no, I don't like chocolate ice cream. Well, then you would respect that. You wouldn't be a dick like, well, here's your fucking chocolate ice cream anywhere. And you're wrong for not liking chocolate ice cream. It's like, really? Okay, that's what you want. Because to me, it looked like it'd be a hell of a lot better life being a stay-at-home wife or, a wife working a different job or something like that. But if it's not, like if it if that idea of being a stay-at-home wife, nuclear family, husband comes first, children, if that is so detestable to young women today, then all right. You should probably let guys know that. I would, however, point out that even with that ideology that you girls do not want men in your life or that kind of relationship with men, that still does not address the first mistake she made, and I made too. You majored in the wrong thing. You gotta the economy don't care. You gotta major in something worthwhile. And all that other work she could have done on the side as a hobby. She didn't have to get a degree in it. Imagine how much better off if she was like a CPA, master's degree, got a master's in accounting. She's making good money, and then on the side, she does this other kind of stuff. So I'm curious, Ray, that's what you ran into too. Because I'm not in the dating market anymore. I'm never going back. The GF asked me like, "Well, if I went away and died, would you go find another gal?" I'm like, "I will never ever." And it's not even an offense to her. It's like I will never have another woman in my house ever again because of the amount of work that would happen. I'm like, and I'd rent. I am not going into the dating market. Like, nope. Here's your money. Come on by once a week or whatever. Clean the house while you're at it. There's the money. Now go away. There's not a lot of love. There's not a lot of happiness between the sexes right now. And I kind of look at it like, there's no way. No way. Wheezy Bird, $10 dating for a couple weeks now with this Mexican girl born and raised in the US who believes in traditional values and does not have college debt. Does her being Mexican save her from being Alyssa? What does her being Mexican have her to do with being Alyssa? The traits have nothing to do with it. These are choices. Um, she has chosen a traditional path. You're the girl you're dating. Uh, her ethnicity has nothing to do with her preventing her from being Alyssa. Well, I guess Mercante. That sounds Spanish. Um, the name and the ethnicity has nothing to do with it. It's choices. Alyssa wanted to go down the path of feminism, girl boss, strong, independent woman. Don't need men. If that tattoo is true, uh, a a career where the one's politics had to be brought into it, like activism as a profession. Again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that choice, morally or ethically. If economically, there might be. That's one choice that has nothing to do with her ethnicity or background. So if your gal, Mexican or not, is traditional and has no debt, that's starting to approach keeper category. You know, that's that for marriage. No, if you're like stay over there, I mean, kind of, I'm in like, no, you stay over there. Let's say Cappy hit the dating market again, right? I had to reintroduce myself. Like, no, no. This is my house. That's you. I think there would be no Ward. Cappy would never become Ward Cleaver. Nope. Cappy's going to be um, George Gammon. I'm just nope. I got my come on visit, have fun times, and now you go home. Yeah, there would not be a traditional. It'd be very, very confirmed bachelor, and yeah, you could come over. Yeah, we can have some wine, and now you go home. I'll drop you off. Femboy Fantasia, $2. They're unhappy because they want to be. I don't know about that. I'm kind of curious with let's generally summarize it as the feminist promise, right? I know there are other influences, but a lot of young women were told by feminists, it was like this feminist promise that happiness and success or self actualization was on the other end. Uh, I don't think feminists said you're going to be unhappy forever. I think they said you're oppressed now and you can't be happy until we get these rat bastard men to fight the patriot or whatever else. I don't think anyone says, I want to pursue a life of being miserable. And so, uh, I think the feminists were lying to, and it's kinda like communism. I'm waiting for the day for a successful communist or socialist economy to work. Show me the example. They can't even get, they got these like socialist restaurants that open up or some kind of, some cafe where it's a community and the employees own it and it always goes bankrupt. I'm like, dude, you guys can't even run a restaurant, let alone a country. Let me know when it works. I want to see a happy feminist. Show me where the feminists are happy. Even not dedicated feminists, but like Hillary Clinton isn't fucking happy. Nancy Pelosi, they're never smiling. And they got millions of dollars. So I don't think women came in, hey, do you want to be a miserable bitch and poor the rest of your life? I don't think they came in with that. Missouri man, 10 generous dollars. Every time I go to LinkedIn, I see layoffs happening, people applying for a 100+ job, AI taking over entry-level jobs. That's why I'm working construction on the side to get another skill, and I love it. Yeah, it's the trades, man, going to the trades. When I get through all my crap, Cappy's going to do two things, one of which I won't mention. It's nothing bad. It's keep it on the down low. But I am going to go to maybe not a dedicated trade school, but I'm going to learn to wrench on cars because I'm looking at current mechanics. I'm like, okay, I can do a better job. It's going to take me a lot longer, but I'm not going to leave chunks of wood in the engine bay. I will tighten down the clamps. And that's modern day quality. The quality of mechanics is just going to go down in the future. I need a car. Don't know about you. I need a car. Second biggest expense in everybody's life is transportation. I'm going to make sure I can fix my own cars. But yeah, I'm not going to engineering. I might do taxes. Like if shit went bad and I had, okay, I'll do taxes. I can do I passed the enrolled agent exam. The false one that Chad gave me. I think I scored an 86%. Got all those questions right. I know he gave me the easy questions. For those who tuned into that episode, you are right. He gave me the easy ones. I'm being facetious. But yeah, I'd be doing the trades all day long. Dre, $2. I've never seen a happy feminist or girl boss ever. Yeah, you could see him like, we're girl bossing. Like when they're in the moment of like showing their credentials and bragging, then they're happy. Like that, the fake video, well, it wasn't fake. They're all doing it where the girls were like, I have a degree in bipolar journalism. Yay! That was them graduating. That's the peak. That's it. They peaked in college. So it's when they're flaunting and doing the thing, that's when they're most excited. But yeah, when they go home, I lived the life, man. I lived in basement. I remember what it was like being poor. I remember having no job stability. You're not happy. You're not in a good spot. I guess the question to me could I have been a stay-at-home husband? Like there was some gal that took care of me? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'll get a sugar mama. You take care of me and I got food, clothing, and shelter. All I got to do is look hot and have sex with you. Okay. I'll never succumb to I guarantee every guy like, wait, a sugar mama that's bangable? Hell yeah. Sign me up. I'll be the house husband. Where do I sign up for that? I don't know. I don't care about it. No. She cute enough? All right, let's go. She pays for everything. Like her job provides me insurance. All right, yeah, I'll raise the babies. Let's go. Wheezy Bird, $5. Then released the Choose Your Fighter. Oh God, I saw that. Oh my God. Choose Your Fighter campaign video, and it's all feminists and no dudes. The women in the video can't be happy with their life. Dude, it is so. That's going to be someone's got to save copies of that. Because future historians are going to look back at that and say, yeah, the women lost their fucking minds. There is no self-awareness. None whatsoever. It's just a bunch of women in pantsuits. Don't even play video games. Don't even know what they're trying to emulate. Oh. I'm so happy. I'm going to go smoke a cigar and chill out, man. Dre, $2, but Cappy, women doesn't want to rely on any man. I know, and that Here, let me simplify it. No ill will to Alyssa, but her life is hard and painful. Would it be more painful to be with a man? Would the traditional housewife life be more painful? She's very pretty enough to have gotten a guy. Is the life of a traditional wife, arguably mother, is that more painful than the life she's going through now? And millions of other young women who are equally pursuing such not ideological, ideal. Like this is their dream, pursuing their dreams. That seems like pain and suffering, man. Is that still less pain and suffering than me just being June Cleaver? I think it would be a very interesting and ladies, if you're in the comment, please, if you're a leftist and you're feminist, I would love to just let us know. Kind of ultimately, my goal here is like, I guess, an economist in some regard. We're like, look, I don't want to tell you to eat chocolate ice cream. You don't like chocolate ice cream. If you don't want it, then let us know. But it'd be very telling. We're like, yes, that life over there with the poverty and the struggling artists and the bad luck and the anger and lawsuits, that's better than having a husband take care of you. Magnum Opus, $5. X said I wanted her barefoot, jobless, and pregnant. So many women misinterpret what men desires. Well, see, what angers me about that is I don't want him barefoot. I want him in heels and thigh highs. Okay, that's what I want him in. That's what they should be in. Barefoot, that's too comfortable. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. I wonder, they listen a lot to what feminists and pissed off middle-aged women say that men want, but they never really listen to what men want. They don't listen to the men. And it's kind of funny. I would never want no, not jobless. No, not with 40% tax rates. You girls have got jobs now. Pregnant, maybe. Depends on whether I want kid. Barefoot? No, I don't want you. Yeah, go ahead, make some food, but get your ass out there and work now too, because we got to go pay for a welfare state where 60% of our taxes go. Ass bucket, $5. I know a good amount of people in the education field. They are not happy people. Hashtag master's degree. Yeah, well, they want to help and save the world. Nonstop Dre, $2. Cappy would become a sugar daddy after girlfriend. No, I'm not setting some mistress up, right? I'm not it and maybe I would have to just go. I would. Brass tacks, not a lot of time left. I have other important things. I mean, really, my hiking would basically make it that I'd have to pay for it. I am never think back to Navarone. I'd rather not, sir. It's like asking someone to go back to Vietnam. Like, not going back to Vietnam. Not going back there. I got hiking. I got other things to do. I'm going to pay for it. I'll legit just pay for it. Wherever it is, okay, fine. That's it. I am not going on dates, sitting there listening to boring ass crap. Oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, that's nice. Well, your kid's really cool. That's cool. No, I would not. A sugar daddy, you're like she's there, right? I'm kind of taking care of her. She's like my ward. I don't want someone to be a ward of me or me a ward of someone. I don't know. No. Here's the money. Come on over. We have fun. Go home. That's it. Dre, $2. But Cappy, I see happy women as wives overseas. Shh. JT's wife seems pretty happy too. Shh. Femboy Fantasia, $5. I read too many feminist papers in college. Nobody that thinks that way can be happy. Vindictive satisfaction at best. Are you in academia, Femboy? Like, very interesting if you're a researcher or something. Yeah, I don't. Well, that's kind of. I've always wanted to guard against it. You had to make sure that this red pill stuff doesn't get too angry. Look, you're just searching for truth, reality, and facts, and then move on. Go be happy. Yeah, I could, but I would say feminist, especially if you're majoring in feminism, that's a very skewed and biased selection of the female population. Those are like your true believers and men. I mean, they're identified by men. They're defined by men. Where it's like men do this and men do that. You know, yep, those dang men. Thank God you're going to spend the next 55 years of your life hating on them and defining everything by them. Like, when I'm done doing this, I don't go, "Those wascally woman." I go out and I listen to nerd podcasts and get on and do whatever. I don't have time for it. Dre, $2. When are you going hiking with Coach Greg Adams? Whenever the hell he calls me back. He's over in Vegas. Raymond, thoughts and minds, $2. Honestly, Alyssa Mercante is a wood, just no talk. I thank you. I wouldn't do it now because the tattoos and all that, but you look at her and it's a motif and the short hair and the glasses and the demeanor. There's a pretty woman underneath all that. There is. And she proved it by posing for that one picture. It's like, okay. There were other pictures where she was cute. I'm like, look at that. All right. Yeah, would. Um, but is it that painful? Would it betray someone's feminist ideals to put on a dress and grow the hair out long? Really? I want to know. Dre, $2. Name an attractive feminist that's actually happy. There's gotta be, right? I don't there has to be attractive feminine because look, all young girls tend to be Democrat and then feminist. Oh, I'm a feminist. Sure you are. So attractive, happy, I don't know. I really don't know. Um, 'Cause there's gotta be 160 million American women. There's gotta be one or two, but it's not the majority. I mean, it's like, where's a masculine Democrat young man? There's some jack Democrat men, young men. They're just a distinct minority. All of them, they all look like that David Hogg guy otherwise. Magnum Opus, $5. House husband Cappy. I don't like having 533 times with my wife because every time I have 533 times with her, I give up oh, sex. Okay. I give up a piece of myself. Yeah, that yeah, I don't understand that I give up a piece of myself. I don't care about that anymore. It's a real phenomenon. I 100% believe it, ladies. That's a you problem. It's too bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like when I go hang out with my buddies and I go hiking, I was like, every time I go hiking with my buddies in Vegas, I give up a piece of myself. I'm like, nah, I'm having fun with my buddies. That's woman's world. That's for them to deal with. I stopped caring about that a long time ago. it it's so sad where it's like you can't go have fun. I give up a piece of myself. Sorry. Because it's all in your head. I'm happy. I'm feeling sad. It's sorry. Every time I go fishing with my buddies, I give up a piece of myself. I, I got a life to get onto, man. I got shit to do. Diced crab, 10 British pounds. It's naive to think it's simply a lack of self awareness and agency. Women's agency and self awareness leads them to wanting a life doing what they want without consequences. I'm fine with them doing what they want. They cannot have us bail them out with the consequences. Like, for example, student bailout student loans, or we got to pay for your bastard children. Women aren't so well meaning. I don't care as a libertarian and as holding the individual as the most important form of humanity. I do not want to tell anyone what to do as long as they're not hurting anybody else, right? Gay lifestyle, go. I don't care. Go be happy. Live your life. Do not ask me to bail you out. Do not accuse me of being the bad guy because of the way I was born and you were brainwashed by some hate-filled group to think those group of people over there is the problem. Don't come to me and say, I got to help you. Don't. I left you alone. You leave me alone. You go play that game and you win its prizes. Some are good, some are stupid. So if women want to go down this route and you don't want to have anything to do with men, that's fine. Stop bitching about men. I don't think men are they're not bothering you. I know there's going to be men who ask you out and they're drunk. Yes, it's just we need to kill them all. Yeah, you're right. We need to pass laws against wolf whistling. Yes, this is it's the struggle continues. Um, I think also the complaining is falling on deaf ears. No one really cares anymore. No one really cares. Apathy. That's when, oh my God, Daniel Penny. They're like, nope, we're out of this. Right. A piece of myself. I don't care. I don't care. I don't wish you. I don't. I don't wish you ill. I don't wish you. I wish you to be happy and successful. I wish everyone was a billionaire. But man, your problems are not mine. And stop complaining to all of society that somehow we got to fix them. Imagine that growing through an entire life and having such a unhealthy obsession about sex that you just can't enjoy it, right? I know you want to get the right person. You're just not going to have it willy nilly. You're going to want to like the person. But imagine that where, my precious, the ring. Golem wasn't happy. I don't know if you noticed that. Golem wasn't happy. And well, he was a little bit when he gave up the ring and started to have friends, but then he got re-addicted again. There's a lesson there. Prince Revolver, a pleasant woman can make a world of yes. Yes. It's that's its own discussion. I've talked about how men are the engines of economic growth and women are the fuel that they run upon. You get the right fuel and the right engine, that engine can do tremendous things. But everyone wants to be an engine, no one wants to be fuel. And that's fine. Your terms are acceptable. Lichter Jungesel, 2 Brazilian reals, greeting from Brazil, best YouTube channel in lives. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Oh, are there German? Oh, there is some Germans in Brazil, isn't there? I wonder why. When did the Germans immigrate to Brazil there, Lichter? Was it still black and white TV back in those days? Even predicted TV. All right, there you guys go. I have links to all my stuff below. There's my books, there's my courses, and then there's the Amazon affiliate links if you want to do your shopping there. I wish everybody a little bit of happiness and joy. I wish everybody success. I'm very curious about women who would side with Alyssa's ideology and career choices. I'd be curious to see what you think. I'd be curious to see what Alyssa thinks if she cares to chime in. And that's it. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.